Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Today is episode number 282 on my journey to 1800 ELO. So, I hope you guys enjoy my content. I put a lot of work into this series. I play chess literally every day, win, lose, or draw, and post it on YouTube for you guys to judge me. I'm just kidding. I really do enjoy making these videos for you guys. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, we're close to 1300. I'm currently rated 1285, and the goal is to keep on moving on. So let's get right into it. Today is going to be a victory. I can feel it. Hopefully I'm like in the right mind space. It's kind of hard for me to tell sometimes. Some days I don't feel like playing. Some days I'm good. It's really a roller coaster of emotion for me. Sorry guys. All right. So, we have a 13-14 rated player from Azerbaijan, the Boulder Attack. I'm going to play d6 and see where we go from here. We'll get the knight out and probably try and play e6. Alright. We're going to get the knight out. I think this is how I should be playing. I'm going to slow down a little bit because I really do need to be calculating on all of these moves. So I played this to put pressure on this pawn. He is defending it. More than likely, D4 coming soon, tone on video and DVD. I know in these positions that E6 is pretty much a good move. But I'm going to go with kind of my just regular stuff and try and get castled quickly. So he castles queenside. Alright, so to me that's a very slow move. I'm not 100% sure what his entire strategy is with that. So I'm going to castle myself. Alright, so he is playing like this to basically put a lot of pressure on me, which is fine. If I play a move like this, I guess he can do this right now. Takes. Doesn't really work. If he plays this, I'm gonna play E6, which is kind of a move that I'm using to kind of lighten the load of F5 a bit. I need to do some studying because I get so lost in these new openings. Like I'm used to the Caro-Kann and the London where I'm fighting for a pawn. When I get the pawn, I'm winning, and I usually know how to kind of convert from there. I mean, it's a little sloppy, right? But basic kind of chess stuff usually is like the thought. So if I push here, he takes, I take, he takes, I take, he takes, I take. So I can just push there, it looks like. So I'm gonna do so. Hopefully this doesn't ruin my whole day. I'm just going to work on my time a little bit in these rapid games because I end up calculating lines and I don't know. I think I don't know if I overcalculate or if I'm just slow at calculating. It ends up being kind of a pain in my butt to so I don't know what his goal is with this. I also just had this move, which would have been fine as well. I that's one of those moments where I didn't calculate, right? I should have calculated that, because I think that bringing my bishop there was solid, but I also think that getting my knight in here would have been maybe a bit better. And now when he plays this, I don't have a lot of moves. I'll probably have to bring my knight back, which is not good. So I'm thinking about taking here. Maybe it's not the end of the world. We'll take with the bishop. And now I am threatening to take here, so he'll probably push. Takes. Boom. Takes. I think taking here is fine. Takes. Pushes. If I take here, he recaptures. I can't really do anything there. If I take here, he recaptures. I take. He takes. Take here. Captures. 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 If I take here, recaptures. Threat on the knight. Knight has to move. We're gonna take here. This might be not right. I'm having trouble calculating and seeing what I think is better. But my plan is pretty much to move the queen here, since the knight has to move, and just threaten a checkmate if I can. Probably won't work, but we will try. So the knight can't go here or here. It can go here, but I'll just take. So if I just take the knight, he's going to take one of these two pawns. If I take here, so if I take the knight, say he takes here with check, I take with the rook. I'm feeling like I really want to take that knight. My king is going to be super exposed if I do that. If I just take the pawn, I guess we're solid. I'm going to take the knight. We're going to play life on the edge. So I can take this with the king if I want to, I guess. I don't really see why I can't. He can't bring the queen in. I could back the king back up. I need to be very careful now, but the plan is this. I can even take this pawn, but I was going to bring the queen here just to threaten a checkmate. He's got things like this to block, which would be fair. I'm going to take with the queen. Fair enough. So he's attacking my queen. So I'm thinking just move here, but I can't be sure. So if I just move here, what is he gonna play? Probably need to bring my king back. I like this because, I mean, I'm putting he can't move the knight really right now. I guess he can try and do something like that. I will take right now I'm threatening to take here, which is a fork. And I think I'm defended. Technically, we're like up a rook, but he's got a pawn for the rook. It started with us winning a piece just entirely, but then he sacked in exchange. So now we're just kind of up a rook for the pawn, which is nice. So my goal now is to try and get as many of these pieces involved as possible. I'm also, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at things like this. Because this just immediately makes him have to move. I like this. So that is a free pawn. I don't think I should take it because I'm worried about him bringing a piece into this square. I do just think I want him to move this knight and maybe get my rooks a bit more active. I can work on trying to get my king back. But I'm going to do this, just trying to simply checkmate on the next move. Interested to see what my opponent plays. So giving up the knight is how he stays alive, I guess. That's what it seems like to me. I don't really see another move. If he moves the knight, he just gets checkmated, I think. I guess he has this move, which would actually defend checkmate. But then we're looking at bringing the rook in and actually sacking the exchange to get checkmate. Might not be the best way to go about it, but we'll see. So I'm seeing knight to e3 defends this. Perhaps if he plays that, maybe I can take the pawn on c3. He moves the rook, and then I can put pressure on the knight that way. Checkmate. Alright, GG, my opponent. So I think his only move there was that knight move that I was saying. Maybe not his only move, but that saves the knight and protects checkmate, so I think that would have been the better move. I can't talk crap because I got checkmated and won 2 times in a row the other day, so yeah. I know how it feels, brother. So good game, good game, good game. We played with 86.6% accuracy, which is nice, and my opponent played with 60.8. He really just kind of crumbled there towards the end of the game. I think that he got a little overzealous giving up material. I think that was just the entire problem, because otherwise I think we could have played a very even game. So already not playing the best way. When that bishop comes down here, man, it's either e6 or get that knight to c6 is, from what I can tell, that's typically what we're doing in the Sicilian. My face always blocks this sorry, I don't know why I leave my face there like that. We'll move my face out of the way, blocking the board. Alright, so yeah, e6 or bringing that knight to c6 seems to be the way to deal with the bishop coming out early like that. We get back on the book move, of course, so like I said, knight c6. When I see this bishop out, I almost always bring the knight out, and then e6 is also in my head, especially if he's going to try and do some dumb shit like that. We bring the knight out. This also is like really protected from this now. The reason we played d5 in the first place is protect from this pawn push just a bit. He played this move, which kind of inhibits my knight from being able to come here and put pressure on that piece. I would have to drop the knight backwards maybe, or just take and allow his knight to come in. But now this is a heavily defended square on my end. We just go for the fianchetto, which is fine, and we're actually a bit better here. This was a weird knight move. I think we called that in the game. We castled. The best move here is to actually just take the free pawn. Oh, it's not a free pawn, but this is the fork trick. So he recaptures, and then we just play this move. And I should see this, because I know that we want to play d5, and this is like a common tactic in, I think, the King's Indian as well. Just because it's sort of a similar structure that you have in the King's Indian. I think this occurs quite a bit. You actually take the pawn here when they recapture, you get the fork, and their best move, I think, is to drop the bishop back. However, this pawn hasn't been pushed, so in this circumstance, I'm not exactly sure. Because you don't want to sack the bishop for the pawn either. You want to keep the bishop, I think, out of it. Anyways, we missed that, which is fine. It would have been nice, though, because this had potential to be kind of maybe a strong attack. I think he went about it a bit wrong, and it looks like e6 was wrong on our end as well. Again, it just wants this fork tactic. And that's a good thing for me to see. I do normally see that, but I think today I was trying to be a little more... I'm having second thoughts about my calculation, to be honest, and I feel like sometimes I'm calculating stuff, but then I'm not seeing, like, another... Like, I calculate a few lines, and it ends up being a waste, because I'm calculating a move that they don't play. So they play like 2 or 3 of the moves that I calculate, and then on the 4th move they don't play what I was calculating. And it's because there's more than one move in a position, and it's hard for me to calculate like 3 and 4 lines deep and guess what they're going to play every time. If it's the best move, sometimes it's easier to see, because sometimes if you really think about it, you can find the better moves, but it's kind of hard to do. So I'm working on that, but today I was a bit hesitant to rely so heavily on my calculations. Deep calculations. I know that I can calculate 1 and 2 lines and 3 lines and stuff like that, but when I start going deeper than that, I really just need to verify after 2 or 3 lines that it's okay for me, and I can figure it out from there. That's what I need to be doing. So this was weird. I didn't need to do this at all. This was stupid. This is the move. We talked about that during the game. I was all worried about my calculation, and I just played this off of instinct, and played bishop here off of instinct, and I know damn well that this knight move is the move. And we're threatening to take in that position, for sure. But also the knight is nice on an outpost if he decides to move. So this was a bit weak on my end. Taking here was good. I think taking here is the better move. So we calculated both, but I felt comfortable in both. But again, my main goal was to try and set up this checkmate if I could. And I had this idea in mind, is he's got to move the knight. He takes, and I actually take the knight because I didn't see anything here, right? My knight covers this square, this infiltration square for his queen. So if he takes here, I was probably going to take with the rook. I don't know which is better. He doesn't have a light squared bishop to, like, hurt me anymore. So I'm fine on, lining these 2 pieces up. I could have taken with the king, too. I don't know which would have been better. But I also saw if he takes here, I could take with the knight, or I could take with the king. I decided to take with the king. Might not have been the best, but... so taking with the knight is better. Oh, sliding over is better. That's interesting. So... yeah, I didn't do that right. But using this as like an umbrella pawn is actually kind of clever. My only problem is that queen has a big open file. It's always kind of scary when that happens. But we're fine here. He sacks. I take with the queen, which is the best move. We slide over here, which also is the best move. And I'm threatening to take here now. It was good that he took, I think. Yeah, it wasn't his best move, but I think it was a good move for sure. Because there was a lot of threats here, and this is also my next threat, right? So he takes there, and I actually find the best move. And him moving the knight was not the best move, was it? Okay, so giving up the knight is actually better than trying to defend. Because I don't think that... I was looking at it, I don't think the defense works because I can just win the knight, right? And you're still in the same... scenario. So like if he moved his knight here, I mean I can either take the pawn threatening this, or I can move the rook over and get some play like that. But I didn't calculate, I mean, the fact that, yeah, if he just loses the knight, I didn't have any calculation there, right? I knew he would take with the pawn. It's defended by the queen, and we're just better there. I didn't think we needed to calculate much about that. So, that was a good game. We played like a 1700. My opening was kind of whack. Well, it says that, but I played with 81.2% accuracy. Damn it, now my camera's in the way here. That's why my camera was up in the top corner. I gotta find a good place for this camera. But, anyways, we'll move it over here. But yeah, it says I played with 81.2% accuracy, and it was inaccurate for an opening. But I think that's pretty high accuracy for an opening. And then the middle game was 92.6. So you played a really good game. I'm pretty proud of that one. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I enjoyed playing this game. This was fun. This got played in a weird way. I still have like gotten very little main lines of the Sicilian, so it's kind of hard for me to study when people just play whatever the hell they want. They'll play like 3 moves that'll be like theory, and then it's just whatever the heck. And I get a lot of like, I think it's the Alapin. Yeah, the Alapin, and then the Alban counter gambit, I think, is also another one I've been getting. They're kind of annoying. I know the Alapin is annoying to me. That's where they really defend the center with the C3 push, and then they end up throwing D4. I just need to look up counters to them. With the white pieces, the Queen's Gambit has been going all right for me. I don't feel comfortable in knowing what I'm supposed to be doing at any given time, but I just play moves and then figure it out and start calculating, and it seems to somehow work out. But I would like to have some plans in Queen's Gambit positions. So if you guys have any advice, feel free to leave it in the comments. I always read it. I always appreciate it. Excuse me. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Yeah, I will catch you guys next time. See you tomorrow.